Is masculinity eroding out of our culture? Unfortunately, I'm not saying it. Data supports that statement. On today's episode, we're going to process this very, very serious topic. We're going to dive into why are there 5 times more single moms than dads. Some of you might say because it's a lot easier today to jump over the wire, springdraad, like they say in Afrikaans, because of apps like Tinder, apps like OnlyFans. It's crazy what's going on out there. We believe it's a deeper, more serious issue, which is the fact that men are losing their drive to go and win, to go and compete, to go and be something, to go and lead. Now, we're not going to go into sexual flavor, because whether you are gay or whether you're not gay, as a man, a gay man can be ambitious, can be driven, can be competitive, can go out and fight for things. We're talking about the actual masculinity, the will to win, the testosterone dropping. And we feel we've got a couple of perspectives why it's happening and how we can counter it. And we need to get on this as soon as possible. Next to me, as always, Annemarie Meyer.
Thank you. And this is by the inner masculinity. It's not only how you look.
Absolutely.
It's that inner drive that we're missing.
That will to win. Let's get into it. According to a UK study done recently, only 2% of men between the ages of 18 and 24 rated themselves as completely masculine. 2%. While 56% of older men aged between the ages of 65 and above rate themselves as completely masculine. That's not enough. I'm going to give you more. A third of young men aged between the age of 18 to 24 years old reported having no sexual activity in the past year, which is a significant increase from the beginning of the decade. Okay, a third of men. Now, in addition to that, before we get to the addition to that, if your testosterone levels are below 200, as a man, you're busy becoming a woman. So there's no drive. It's not there anymore. Why? Potentially, this is why.
Okay, but this is actually quite worrisome. OnlyFans, they've got around 1.2 million content creators. Obviously, mostly female sex workers. And I think nowadays we can't even call it sex workers anymore, but it's female content creators. And we've got 50 million paying customers.
On top of that, it's growing at a rate of 500,000 people per day.
It's quite concerning, and I suppose it's mainly men that's subscribing to these kind of channels.
But is that contributing to the decrease in testosterone levels? Because according to studies, since the 80s, we are decreasing by 1% annually as men. Testosterone levels are decreasing by 1% annually as men.
I believe because you've got absolutely no contact with a female counterpart. So you just live yourself. It's at hand at any time available. And I don't need conversation with anyone else. And I can just be whoever I want. If this is the kind of thing that you get hooked to.
Okay, so how do you, as a man, increase your testosterone level? Okay, because low testosterone level leads to depression, fatigue, and lack of motivation. You are not motivated. I'll speak from my own experience. I've lost a whole bunch of weight in the last year and a bit. And I know my testosterone level has changed. It's increased ever since exercising, eating the right food. Because at 4 in the afternoon, I would have a burger, some chips, I would have a Coke. It's all food that are not contributing to my testosterone level rising.
And then you're tired.
And then I'm tired and I spike. And I go, energy levels down. I'm droopy. I'm not aggressive. Yeah. Not aggressive. So how can you increase it? Weightlifting, exercise, sleep, stress management, and eating high testosterone rich food like fish, eggs, and red meat.
The second thing I would like to touch on is the fact that I still believe the absence of a male figure in your childhood times. I can just imagine, I can only speak for myself, if I had to live with only my two boys in my household, they would only get exposed to what I know and my abilities. So do I soften up my child? What do I do? So that is a real big thing to me. And you would be able to give me more perspective on that.
100%. So simply said, there are things that my mom can teach me that my dad can't. He can't.
Vice versa.
There's things that my dad can teach me that my mom can't. Now, what if there's a death in the family and the dad does not exist? If there's a masculine male figure, an uncle, a distant cousin, a relative, a school teacher, a leader in the community, that mom can expose certain scenarios with that child to that man.
And that brings us back to the schooling system.
Yes.
Because nowadays, it's mainly female.
Mostly female. So you don't have that, for example, if there's a confrontation at school, and I go to my mom and I say, listen, there was a confrontation at school.
I can see where this is going.
The reaction is going to be different to dad. And not that dad will encourage a confrontation, but mom will already take my side. She will already want to go to the school and have a conversation where dad will say, but tell me what happened. Not only sort it out, what happened? No, we were playing soccer, okay? And then what happened? Then this happened. And then what happened? And then this happened. And then what happened? Okay, are you guys mates now? No, we're still angry with each other. If it wasn't too rough. Where he will say, okay, but, looking at it from a different perspective, he kicked you. Did he apologize? No. Did you guys have words? Yes. Tomorrow, tell him, listen, I don't appreciate you kicking me. It didn't feel good. He will go deeper into that conversation. Where mom will just go to the school, pull camera footage, my kid's getting bullied.
She will sort it out on your behalf.
But the problem with that is, now I'm going to expect mom to sort out my problems going forward.
You're not brave. You take away that child's bravery.
There we go. Testosterone percentage, boom, lost, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
Okay. The media has also completely, man, this is a hot topic and subject for us, lopsided what masculinity is. Purely, initially, I think the intention was good, because the intention initially was there is a masculinity part which is toxic, which is violent against women, against other men, against kids, being disrespectful, to the point where it's actually on the music awards, it's actually acceptable and encouraged for men to dress as women, to have certain satanic rituals, to have blood, to have, that is not being masculine. Masculine is being strong, and that's not being masculine. And it's pushed onto not only our children, onto us through the media.
No, very true. And unfortunately, our kids, and especially those 18 to 24-year group, they grow up with media in their hand.
Yes.
They strive for it. They live for that. And unfortunately, that's the example they get.
Yeah. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And only then, hard times create strong men. And that's so very true. I mean, we've heard it on multiple platforms. And that's because today you've got Uber Eats, you've got Tinder, you've got OnlyFans, you've got a whole bunch of software where a man doesn't really experience adversity, doesn't really experience.
You sit back and everything at your fingertips, yes. Unfortunately. So there's no more hard work. Hard work constitutes on exercise, using of energy. But nowadays we sit in front of a laptop, cell phone, and that is why we get weaker. Because they don't go out, exercise, get out, get up, get busy. And those are the things that we're missing. And I would say just plan yourself some time to say, I need at least 2 hours in the sun.
I'm having a conversation with someone that's 10 years older than me, 12 years older than me, and their child is 16. Okay. So I said this is a very rough, age for that child. Said, here's the difference between me and you growing up, because I can relate to him and I can relate to the young child, because I live in a environment where we're part of technology all the time.
You felt both worlds.
And he hasn't. So I said to him, okay, so for me and you to be able to hold a girl's hand and maybe get a little bit of a sneaky kiss in, had to, a couple of things had to be sequenced. You needed to be brave, walk up to that girl at school, 16 years old, say, listen, I really, really dig you. I like you. There's this new movie coming up. Normally, it's not as smooth as I am now. Normally, you're looking down and you're like, you're pissing yourself because you're scared. But eventually, like once or twice, you gather up the courage and you go have a movie, and you hold hands in the movie and buy popcorn, and then you sneak one in. Bah! You kiss her on the cheek. Okay.
But that you did face to face by asking.
So I said to him, check this out. Here's what's going on today with the kids. He said, what's going on? I said, check this out. Tinder. Boom. Create a profile. Quickly take nice pictures. Tell me about yourself. You're in the game. You swipe left. You swipe right. If you want to, today, you can line up 5 dates on a Saturday. You can line up at 12, at 2, at 4, at 6, and at 8 o'clock.
And not only Tinder, Instagram, Facebook, because you just like, you share, you invite, and eventually you start chatting, direct messages, here we go. And that is how you start a conversation. So you don't feel ashamed if you get rejected, whereas we need to go back where you need to do it face to face, because that is building courage.
So what is the solution? I think it starts with not telling your child or telling your little nephew or telling the community about sleep, exercise, about doing the right things, about values and principles, but actually living it and showing them.
Be the example.
I think it starts there.
Yes. Whoever put their hands onto younger people, I won't say children, just younger generation.
Yeah.
Be the example if you're the older
Be the
version.
influence.
Yes. Definitely agree with that. It's also important to address the cultural and the societal factors that contribute to the devaluation of masculinity. This can involve promoting positive male roles for socializing, stop the stereotypes, take the media out of it. So this is altogether a bigger picture, just to step away from the fact that we only look up to the media to channel us and just go back to basics, I would rather say.
100%. And I think in closing, I'm going to make this statement. We need to make it cool again to be a dad, to be a man, to be a male. We need to make it cool. Not only a person that can make a woman pregnant. Okay?
Oh.
Women don't need boys. Women need men. Okay? They need men. Right. And then I think it's a very complex solution, but we have to find the solution, because we didn't undergo the thousands of years of evolution and the ancestors that battled through horrible tiger attacks and all this sort of stuff for us to grow up and be pussies. We didn't endure all this for us to end up like some of the men are ending up on TV doing rituals and dressing up like women and promoting this to society. I'm not for it. I don't know if you are.
I don't want to live in a society where female are stronger than men. I don't want to be there. And that is for bravery. I want to feel protected. And I don't want to end up where we're stronger than you. So I give a high five to each and every masculine guy out there that's prepared to stand up, be strong, and be brave.
Thank you very much. And I know there are billions of women that feel the same way.
I know that.
Thank you very much. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, I know I did. I know you did as well.
Did.
Leave us a comment, hit the like button, and
please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell.
Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.